Susan Day, born on December 10, 1952 in Peoria, Illinois, had a childhood marked by both promise and hardship. Raised by her father, a newspaper editor, after the early loss of her mother, Susan's formative years were shaped by intellect and emotional sensitivity. Moving to New York with her father, she was exposed to a world of culture and journalism that influenced her later acting career. Before she ventured into acting, Susan worked as a model, gracing the pages of teen magazines like 17, where her natural beauty and grace quickly caught the eye of casting directors. Her big break came unexpectedly when she was cast as Lori Partridge in The Partridge Family, a role that would shape her career and introduce her to millions of fans worldwide. At just 17, she had no acting experience, but quickly found herself as one of the most iconic faces of the 1970s. Stardom on The Partridge Family. At the age of 17, Susan Day became a household name playing Lori Partridge in the beloved television series The Partridge Family, which aired from 1970 to 1974. The show quickly made her a teen idol, admired by fans all over the world. As Lori, Susan's character was wholesome, witty, and musically gifted, traits that perfectly mirrored her natural charm. Her on-screen chemistry with co-star David Cassidy was undeniable, and fans couldn't get enough of their dynamic. However, the real story behind their bond was far more complicated. While the pair shared a strong professional relationship, their off-screen connection was much more layered, filled with both friendship and unspoken tensions. Despite the pressures of early fame, Susan handled her rise with remarkable dignity, and her portrayal of Lori Partridge remains one of the most memorable roles of her career. Breaking free from the teen idol image. After the success of The Partridge Family, Susan Day faced the challenge of shaking off her teen idol image to be taken seriously as an actress. She began taking on more complex and adult roles, starting with Mary Jane Harper Cried Last Night in 1977, where she portrayed a young mother struggling with mental illness. This raw and emotional performance caught critics' attention and demonstrated that Susan was more than just a pretty face. Throughout the late 1970s and 1980s, Susan continued to diversify her career, appearing in television movies and feature films, with roles that showcased her emotional depth and maturity. Her evolution as an actress was marked by her determination to break free from the limitations of being a teen star, and she worked tirelessly to build a reputation as a serious actress capable of tackling complex, dramatic roles. The rise of Grace Van Owen on LA Law. Susan Day's career reached new heights when she was cast as Grace Van Owen in the legal drama LA Law, which aired from 1986 to 1992. This role marked a major turning point for Susan, as she portrayed a highly intelligent and driven deputy district attorney who eventually becomes a judge. As Grace, Susan commanded the screen with a quiet authority, earning both a Golden Globe Award and several Emmy nominations for her performance. Her work on LA Law not only solidified her status as one of the most respected actresses of the 1980s and early 1990s, but also helped redefine how women were portrayed on television. Grace Van Owen was a strong, complex character who stood as a beacon for professional female roles, showing that women on television could be both powerful and fully human. Transitioning to Love and War. In 1992, Susan Day moved into the realm of sitcoms with Love and War, a show created by Diane English, the mastermind behind Murphy Brown. The series paired Susan with Jay Thomas, who played a brash newspaper columnist, while Susan portrayed Wally Porter, a sophisticated restaurant owner. The show was intended to combine sharp dialogue and romantic tension, reminiscent of the screwball comedies of Hollywood's golden age. While the casting of Susan was praised, Love and War encountered creative struggles early on. Critics suggested that Susan's calm, understated presence clashed with J. Thomas's more energetic and fast-paced comedic style. After just one season, Susan was replaced by Annie Potts, which disappointed many fans. Despite the setback, Susan handled her departure with grace and continued to pursue her career in more serious, socially relevant roles, producing and starring in Lies and Lullabies. After her departure from Love and War, Susan Dey took on a more serious and socially significant project. In 1993, she both produced and starred in the television movie Lies and Lullabies, later retitled Sad Inheritance. The film dealt with the sensitive issue of drug addiction among pregnant women, a topic that was rarely addressed at the time. Susan portrayed a young woman struggling with cocaine addiction while pregnant, giving a raw and emotional performance that earned praise for its authenticity. The film allowed Susan to showcase her dramatic range and commitment to important, often taboo subjects. Her portrayal of the character was unflinching, bringing attention to an issue that many found uncomfortable to discuss. And it was a significant departure from her earlier, more glamorous roles. Personal life and marriage to Lenny Herson. Susan Dey's personal life was as important to her as her career. In 1976, she married Leonard Lenny Herson, a seasoned Hollywood agent significantly older than her. Their marriage came at a time when Susan was transitioning from her wholesome television image to more mature acting roles. Lenny, who had represented several prominent figures in the entertainment industry, offered Susan guidance and stability during the early years of her career. Despite their age difference and differing career paths, the marriage seemed to provide Susan with a sense of security. However, by the late 1970s, as Susan's career took off and she grew as an individual, the couple's relationship began to show strain. The pressures of Hollywood, combined with their different life goals, eventually led to their divorce in 1981. Though their marriage ended, they continued to co-parent their daughter, Sarah Dey, born in 1978, with respect and mutual understanding. Finding love with Bernard Sopransky. After her divorce from Lenny Herson, Susan Dey found love again in 1988 with Bernard Sopransky, a television producer known for his work on daytime dramas like Guiding Light and As the World Turns. Bernard's deep understanding of the entertainment industry, coupled with Susan's own experience, created a strong and lasting relationship. Unlike her first marriage, which had been subject to public scrutiny, Susan and Bernard kept their marriage relatively private. They chose a quiet, low-key lifestyle, away from the spotlight. The couple's relationship was marked by mutual respect and a shared desire for a normal life outside of Hollywood's relentless attention. Their enduring marriage has often been described as one built on common values and strong communication, and it remains one of Susan's most cherished aspects of her personal life. The decision to step back from acting. As Susan Dey's career progressed, she increasingly sought privacy and balance in her personal life. By the early 2000s, she chose to step back from acting, prioritizing her family and personal well-being over the demands of Hollywood. While she occasionally participated in reunions and industry events, Susan's desire for privacy led her to avoid the media frenzy that often surrounds celebrity figures. Together with Bernard Sopransky, she found peace and stability away from the spotlight. Their quiet life away from the public eye allowed Susan to enjoy the fruits of her long and successful career, focusing on her family and the moments that mattered most to her. Reflecting on her relationship with David Cassidy, After years of silence, Susan Dey has finally opened up about her complicated relationship with her Partridge Family co-star David Cassidy. Although their on-screen chemistry as Laurie and Keith Partridge was adored by millions, the reality behind their connection was much more layered. Susan recalled that at the time she developed a crush on David, who was charming and talented. However, Cassidy was living a very different life, off-screen, constantly surrounded by fans and romantic entanglements. Susan revealed that she was hurt when David spoke about her crush in a magazine interview, which she felt was a betrayal. Despite the emotional distance that grew between them, Susan maintained a professional and graceful demeanor on set. Over time, the bitterness she once felt softened, and she grew to understand the pressures David faced. In retrospect, she expressed regret for not reconciling before his death in 2017, wishing for one more conversation to heal old wounds. Today, she reflects on their time together with affection, acknowledging the bond they shared and the challenges they both faced under the public spotlight.